So today we're checking out more NEMOPHILA. This is Seize the Fate. Oh wow, again, the familiarity. This band always, riff-wise, guitar riff-wise, has some sort of familiarity, and I lean back on it because they draw from a lot of the inspiration. A lot of their inspirations are from, you know, the classic old thrash days, so you kind of hear some of those things come back. That riff that's kind of ending with that harmonic, that God, that is so familiar. If you know, like, where that may draw an inspiration from, or what you're hearing when you hear that's not them, feel free to share that. But I already kind of hear some old classic kind of 90s thrash riffs coming out of this thing. And of course, we start out, instantly with some sort of, even though it may have been small, some sort of a solo after we break this drum stuff off. So let's get right back into that drum stuff. On the drums, hope I'm saying this correct, Tamu. That was a cool little groove. They just kind of broke off into a little bit of a groove riff before switching up into what I believe is going to be a chorus. Testament. Old ass Testament is what I'm hearing in there when they kind of hit off and they pinch off that harmonic at the end. Oh man. Great classic influences so far. Great riffs. Enjoying this overall. Not much of a geek out other than that little riff that I've kind of figured out where it takes me to. We'll just keep rolling. Digging it. Right before they break into the chorus, there's some really good underlying lead that kind of takes you into that lead section. I want to see if I can catch that. There was one. Like those nice big juicy harmonics that were pulled off right at the end there, with the whammy bar and everything. I've mentioned this in another video before, but I've tried to pull those off before. I'm not a lead guitar player. I never learned a whole lot of the skills required for lead guitar. I tried that because Dime used to do that stuff, and I had one of his guitars at one point in time, and probably tried it 20 times, but never really put tons of effort into it. It's just a timing thing. You just have to do basically 3 things at the exact correct timing. For people who can do it, it's easy, I guess. But for those who couldn't, man, there's a lot of timing involved in that. I want to go back and check that out. I mean, there's a ton to talk about visually there. I'm not real sure the look that they're going for, but I've also only checked out 3 songs from this band, and I believe this is a new song from them. So it seems to have been different every time at this point in time. First thing I'll say, this being third time in, that was fantastic, great overall, ridiculously talented people. We've talked about that with NEMOPHILA before. My third song in, I prefer Mayu's scream vocals over her cleans. Not that I don't like both, because she does both, but I don't, just because I'm so young into the band and I'd heard them previously, I missed not getting that from this song. That doesn't mean it was bad, I just missed not getting it. So that just shows you that I also have an appreciation for that style of vocal presentation from her as well. Beyond that, I can't say much about vocals because I'm not a vocal coach. I don't hardly ever sing. When I do, it's in a backup situation, and it's just not my thing to talk about. Big squeals from the guitars, nice classic riffs. Like I said, I've kind of had that rundown riff happening in my mind when they first came out with it. I was like, man, this is so kind of like inspirationally, like, who else can I attach this to that I know very well? Because, when you first start listening to an artist, and you're not as experienced and your ears don't hear them as much, for me at least, I tend to typically try to reference, like, is there a familiarity to this for me? How can I put this into my own, massive metalhead box, and then try to understand my way out of it from there until it becomes theirs. And I just heard a little bit of kind of a Testament influence on the end of that riff, which I thought was really cool. This was fun. I'm just an old school thrash metalhead, always have been, always will be. If you're coming over here from another video and you haven't checked this out before, go check them out. I probably got a small little playlist going at this point in time. Not sure how big that's going to get because I don't know how many songs they have at this point in time. But I do like reacting to them. I get something kind of a little different and unique every single time. And you never know exactly if I'm going to find a geek out part or what I might geek out over. But go check them out. Really cool. Original links are always in the descriptions. And for those of you in that NEMOPHILA family, I once again thank you for having me.